What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we're here for another Manchester City transfer update number 2 of the summer. I've left it a week. There are so many stories to get on through. We'll get on to that in a second. Before I say all that, though, I want to just say that if you are new around here and you are interested in my videos, please don't forget to subscribe, notifications on. Also, we've got daily videos, so as of next Monday, we've got daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout the summer, throughout the whole of the transfer window. So if you are interested and you do enjoy the videos, don't forget to subscribe, notifications on, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up if you do enjoy the videos, and let me know what you think in the comments below. But with all that being said and done, though, we're going to crack on with the ins for this week. First up, last week we were linked with Isco. We're linked with him every summer. He was linked with an £80 million move to Man City. This was according to the Spanish press over in Madrid. It was soon shot down by a couple of reliable journalists over here working for Manchester City. It isn't the case. Isco's just trying to get more reassurance that he'll get starting positions and more game time at Real Madrid. He gets linked with us all the time, though. So that's this summer. Another tick. I'm sure it'll be linked in January when we'll get to that as well too. And next up, we've had Jean-Michel Seri. Now, if you don't know who he is, we got linked with him again last summer and in January. We're after this central defensive midfielder. He plays for Nice. He plays for Nice in that position. I presume that we're getting linked with him because I imagine that Man City probably have 2, 3, 4 backups in case we don't end up signing Jorginho. So I imagine Jean-Michel Seri is one of them. So we're getting linked with him again. We've also been linked with this week Mbappe and Eden Hazard. Apparently Man City only want 2 players unless this marquee signing comes available. Eden Hazard or Mbappe. Now, apparently that's on Man City's radar, looking for this signing. I don't imagine it fits much into the team, particularly if we end up signing Riyad Mahrez. I don't really see where Eden Hazard or Mbappe is going to fit in. I'd imagine it'd probably be one or the other. We're not Real Madrid. We don't just make signings for the sake of it. Certainly, we don't under Pep. That's not what he's done so far, so I couldn't imagine that's the case. We've also been looking with Neymar. His name gets thrown in. £200 million here, £200 million there. The Mbappe one, apparently, though, Man City are keeping a track on his transfer situation with PSG. If PSG are told that the transfer cannot be completed, as well as mugging off Monaco are going to need to make that money back because they've obviously been signing and basing everything on. They're getting that money from PSG. Man City could step in, so we'll have to wait and see with that one, though. Last week, remember, reporting was linked with Delete. Yeah, he's been tracked by Man City. We're not going to be signing him this summer unless another club comes in for him. I'm not too sure if that's the case. Tottenham are linked with him, so I imagine that if they come in, maybe Man City are going to try and match them, but centre-back isn't high on Man City's agenda. But the summer window is long. Anything can happen, so I imagine this is probably nothing that will develop over the next few weeks, but as we go into July, towards the end of July and into August, and the transfer market warms up and teams are realising they need the players and they need them now, things can happen, things get exciting. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one too. We've also got news. Apparently we're closing on a transfer. The £75 million deal for Riyad Mahrez is apparently close. That's £60 million upfront in a fee and £15 million in add-ons. Now that's according to a couple of reliable journalists that work for Man City, so I think this is pretty much nailed on. We're closing in on him. It's not going to cost as much as what was quoted in January, which is good on behalf of the club, so we're spending less. Also with Riyad Mahrez, though, what we're looking for is when rather than if. He's not at the World Cup, so that's not an issue here. So I imagine that Man City, if they can take their time and try and get as best a deal as possible, I imagine they'll do that. I don't think Man City are going to be looking towards getting things completed ASAP in a rush before the World Cup, considering he isn't going. They'll just want him there for the start of pre-season, because it has been reported that this deal could be done within the next couple of days. I'm not too sure, though. I'm holding back on that one. I reckon it might be a week or two, maybe, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see. We've also got an update on Jorginho. Chelsea have joined the race for Jorginho. Sarri is set to be appointed the new manager of Chelsea, so they're going to get rid of Conte. He's given Abramovich his list of players that he wants, which features a lot of players from Napoli. So he's trying to snake Napoli by working with the same players that he worked with, knows his system and works, which, to give Pep credit, he hasn't gone to Bayern Munich or Barcelona and said to him, I want you to sign for Man City. We've not ended up doing that, but he wants to do that to Napoli, which I find a little bit harsh on Napoli. I couldn't imagine him being too happy about that. Apparently, Napoli have got a meeting with Jorginho and his agent and his representatives today to discuss a transfer. We believe this is the transfer to Manchester City, not to Chelsea. Man City have slapped in a bid. It was around £40 million. It was rejected. Man City are willing to go in for £45 million plus £5 million in add-ons. Apparently, this is Man City's take it or leave it offer, with Chelsea sniffing round, Napoli trying to stall the deal so they can get involved in a bidding war and then award the signing to the highest bidder. So I imagine this is probably one we'd probably want over the line first ahead of Mahrez, if I'm completely honest, because Chelsea is sniffing round. We'll have to wait and see. I'm just hoping we haven't got another Alexis Sanchez moment on our hands. But there we go. Apparently Man City are willing to spend around 120, 130 million pounds. So if we're looking at 65 to 70 million pounds for Mahrez, we're looking at around 45, 50 million pounds for Jorginho. That slaps us right in on our ambitions of what we want to spend. So 120, 130 million pounds on a couple of players. It's not as much as what we spent in previous summers, but we've been so impressive and our team's very young this season. We don't really need the addition. We just need a couple of players to help cover for Fernandinho and Leroy Sané, which is what we're going for. I say these aren't backup players, by the way. These will be squad players. They'll be used. These players will be allowed a rest. Leroy Sané, we missed him a lot when he got injured. Fernandinho, again, when he got suspended, we miss him a lot. So we're looking just for players to be able to maybe negotiate his position. Needs a little bit of pressure. I do know that Jorginho, though, is a little bit more of a Yaya Toure type player rather than a Fernandinho, but he is very comfortable on the ball and a very good passer. Everything that Pep would look for in a midfielder. Last bit of transfer news for the Inns. We were linked with Fabinho. You've been living under a rock for the last couple of days, then you won't know this, but we was linked with Fabinho last summer. We was linked with him again a little bit in January. Interest has completely cooled off. We're not really in for him. We was linked heavily though last summer. Apparently Arsenal came with a last minute bid, but apparently that was he rejected that and he's ended up going to Liverpool instead for a fee around £44 million, which I think is a solid signing for Liverpool. Maybe they're the one to watch for next season to keep our eyes on, to teams I'm sure will be looking to try and bridge that gap between themselves and Manchester City. We'll move on to the outs now. Now, with the outs, apparently PSV, they're closing in on the signing of Angelino. Around £4 million to £4.4 million. Loan's also an option because Man City are willing to give Angelino a new deal. If that's not the case, they end up getting him permanently. Man City want to put a sell-on fee. I imagine it'll probably be 25% again, 20-25% like it was for the Maffeo deal. So I imagine he's probably heading in the same direction, apart from going to Stuttgart or going to PSV Eindhoven. Fair credit to Angelino because he had a fantastic season for Breda in the Eredivisie. Next up, Blackburn apparently closing in on the signing of Jacob Davenport. He was out on loan at Burton Albion last season. He did very well for the second half of the season whilst he was out there. According to the Lancashire Evening Post, which is coverage covering the teams in Lancashire, that includes Blackburn, they're closing in on the deal. I'm not too sure if it's a loan deal or a permanent one because apparently Blackburn are interested in a permanent deal for him as well. Like I said previously, expect more signings of young players like this from Man City where they're not just getting a loaned out but they'll leave permanently. We'll probably put little bits of add-on so we get a little bit of money back because, you know, not everyone makes it at Manchester City. It is incredibly difficult, and after all, these young players do need game time and they do need progressing and they do eventually need to leave. Man City also, they're willing to sell Joe Hart. That comes as no surprise to anyone. Apparently, it was reported in the press, £5 million for anyone outside of the top six. That's incredible, isn't it? Apparently, Manchester United are interested because Romero wants to leave Manchester United for more game time. But obviously he's an international football player, so he will. Apparently they're sniffing around Joe Hart. I'd be very surprised if we did sell to Manchester United. Apparently Sporting over in Portugal, I presume when it said Sporting, that's Sporting Lisbon, by the way. Apparently they're interested in Joe Hart too. I think that'd be a lovely move, wouldn't you? Nothing more I'd love than to go and, you know, play football over in Portugal, enjoy some sun, enjoy some sea. Fantastic, lovely place, Portugal. It'd be a good move if he ends up going there. We've also had no developments on the Jason Denayer to Galatasaray just yet. It must be so frustrating for Jason Denayer, it really must. But we've got more links with Turkey. This time Fenerbahce, they're apparently assessing and very interested in signing Eloquin Mangala, who's obviously available for transfer. So again, we'll keep an eye on that for the next transfer update. But also, the update before that I gave on Mahrez, Leicester won't be including Patrick Roberts in on that deal because apparently they want to negotiate that separately to how much Man City are going to want for him, or if Man City are going to loan him or not. We'll have to wait and see. That's the out. We've on to a couple of bits of contract news. Fabian Delph is apparently set in stall for a 1 to 2 year extension of his contract, which would be fantastic. Fabian Delph has earned that. Fabian Delph, he'll obviously be used as a squad player, probably left back and central midfield and central defensive midfield, along with Benjamin Mendy. He'll be playing squad rotation with him. I'm not sure where this leaves Zinchenko like, so what's happening there? Like I said, I paid attention closely to the Man City chairman when he was giving his interview, and I didn't hear much of Zinchenko when he was mentioning all the young players and how much they've progressed. So yeah, maybe I'm reading too much into that. I don't know. And last but not least, Phil Foden's apparently set for a new 5-year deal to sign him at Man City till 2023 on a £25,000 per week contract. Wow, that's fantastic for a 17-year-old, and he'll have deserved it. Phil Foden, very excited about him. So that's been the transfer news. That's all the latest that's happening at Man City. Like I said, leave in the comments below what you think. We've got daily videos coming out from Monday, so if you do like these videos and you enjoy them, then please subscribe, notifications on. Also, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. You can keep up to date with all my Man City stuff on Twitter, on Instagram and all that stuff. Social media links there in the description below. You can go check out my second channel and my brother's partner channel, Mixed, doing mixology drinks. If you're interested in them, I'll leave the links up at the end of this video. You can go check out them, like and subscribe over there. And I'll see you all again for daily contented football videos. I've had a day off. I apologise. I really needed a day off, but we're back in it with a transfer video. So I'll see you all again tomorrow. There'll be another Man City video up tomorrow. I think it's we're looking at young players that Man City could sign in the next year or two. So some good videos coming up, so if you're interested, subscribe. Stay tuned. Thank you for subscribing. I'll see you all again tomorrow. JSGC, have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.